The opinions voiced in this podcast are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be suitable for you, consult the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision.
Welcome to How to Money with Cole and Cole.
I'm Cole.
And I'm Cole.
We coach people every day on their money and how to plan for the future.
As financial advisors, we're here to have an honest conversation on investing, retirement, and everything in between.
At Full Swing Financial Planning, we're here to empower you to take control of your plan, your way, for your financial future.
So let's talk money.
And sports.
Welcome back to How to Money with Cole and Cole. I am Bailey Ashbrook, your host, sitting here with Cole Jaskey.
Hello.
And a very special guest, Larry McLuckie. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's wonderful to be with my two best peeps.
Oh, we're so excited to have you.
We're super excited for this one. For anyone that doesn't know Larry, he's just
this will be a real treat.
Yeah, he's been just an office favorite, right? He's a friend of the office, comes in, brings us, I always joke, he fattens us up. He always brings us something.
He's eating healthy and then bringing us donuts.
Yeah, he's always like coming after his workout all jazzed up. He's like, here you go, here's some Lorita's cookies for you guys. So, to make you
so good.
Yeah.
They're so great.
And then you can eat them and I can watch you eat them.
Yep.
Yeah, living through us. But the reason we're having Larry today, it's a little different than our normal episode, right? Because usually we have entrepreneurs, business owners, or we just talk the numbers or investing techniques. But this is just as important, is what retirement looks like. So today we're gonna have someone who's, we believe, is fully living in retirement. Like, they're an inspiration. Like, when I look at Larry and I think about my retirement, I'm like, that's what I want to look like. That's what I want my retirement to look like. So we're gonna talk about that. Before we get into it, because we are really excited. Cole's back. He just got back from Canada.
Yeah, I got a couple cool things happen in personal life. So one, first trip ever to Canada, went fishing with my father-in-law.
Off the grid.
Off the grid, had a blast. Wow. Cell phone didn't work.
That's why everybody loves it.
Disconnected. It was great. And I was the lucky newbie on the trip, right? I caught, we were what's called casting for bass, and I caught over 36 inch muskie, which to me, I didn't know that was a big thing, but everyone on the trip's like, you don't know how rare that is. And even the guide was kind of telling me, and really, really cool. The guys I was with on the boat got on video. So that was really, really fun. And shout out to Day last night. He must be into fishing.
Oh,
he immediately,
my gosh.
First thing he says to me, we had a baseball tryout last night. I saw Day Mick. He came up and goes, how many fish did you catch?
Oh,
and that's all he said to me. And he was like fascinated.
That's all he wants to do.
I was like, buddy, it was about 30 a day.
He was
or so. I was
like, wide up.
Oh, he's like, really?
30
Oh,
a day.
he was engaged. Yeah, he was locked in on the fishing thing.
We don't fight it. I don't fish. Luke doesn't fish.
That's what Luke was telling me.
We don't fish. We're like, ugh, every time. But he is at peace. He is so calm. He loves it. And so we just embrace it. But the other day he goes, yeah, caught 20 with Grandpa. All keepers. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
That's what Luke said. He's like, so I think we're just going to have to embrace it and go all in on this. Other thing on the personal, Chelsea impromptu, my wife Chelsea took our boys to see her sister-in-law while I was in Canada.
Oh, fun.
And she just decided to go to the Cubs game. Kale's a huge Cubs fan, or we're
so
Cubs fans. Same as, not as big as Cole P. I can't say that, but he was also at the game with his family. But Kale saw a walk-off home run. I think it was the second time ever at Wrigley Field. They had great seats, and she got it all on video with him and stuff.
I saw her snap.
It was so cool,
Nice.
and he was so jacked up. I've never heard him, like, he doesn't. For anyone that knows Kale, he just doesn't get overly excited about anything. And you could like hear the excitement of how cool he thought it was. And he was telling me, he's like, it was a line drive, Dad, right where it was. And yeah, he was so jazzed up. So I've had a, exciting personal last week in my life. So that's enough about me. We're here to talk about
with that. So I'm just going to pivot.
And we're here to talk about Larry. And Larry, I think before we get started, can you give us, give us kind of a background. Like, I would consider you like a retirement entrepreneur, right?
Yes,
You're doing all kinds of stuff. Like,
you're an entrepreneur of your life.
Yeah,
now.
in retirement, you're doing different things. But let's rewind and take us back. Give us a little bit of your background history, and then we'll transition to more of the retirement years.
So my background is that I'm a local guy, grew up in the Callender area, went to school at Gowrie. And so then I ended coming back to the farm and doing stuff here, and then getting a job in Fort Dodge, working for Human Services for 29 years, and took a break and went to work as executive director of Youth Shelter for a couple of years. And then Bob Paxton asked me to come to the college and develop the Human Service program. And so that's for 14 years. And so it's like a career.
Yeah.
And so now it's just a great opportunity. What next? And so that was kind of my thing, is like always to keep busy and moving forward and doing new stuff. And each time was a huge growth experience to think about all those things and all, oh, God, how many years that is? Plenty of years.
We won't date you. Just for our listeners, Larry is 70 plus, but probably running around like 50-year-old plus.
Yeah. You would not think Larry is 70
No.
by any means.
No.
So not by any means.
That's my plan.
Nope.
You know, we have numbers here, but we have energy here.
Yeah.
I love that.
yeah.
I love that.
So, and life pursuits and just living life wholesome.
So it sounds like you had quite the career is what we're hearing. You did a lot of service work, a lot of development. So I'm sure that was a huge transition, because that's a lot of purpose, right? You're doing a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, you're like, so tell us, for someone who's retired, we're all hopefully going to be retired or work optional someday, or in that phase, what was the first transitional year like? Because I know now you're pretty much living full and trying new things.
Or even leading up to that, right? Maybe talk
the
about
feelings.
the feelings, what you thought, maybe second guessing things, or
then
what,
the first year.
Oh my gosh. And so I had met with my financial advisor, and he started asking the questions early in our process. And it's like, God, I hadn't thought about retirement. And my dad farmed to his 85 and his brother to 90. So I just thought, we just keep, maybe not that
just keep
long,
chugging along,
but
right?
That is the farmer.
Yeah, farmer mentality.
and just keep on going. And so he started asking the questions. I hadn't even really thought about some of those questions about where do you want to live? How do you want to live? What do you think about money and all those kind of things? And it's like, geez, I hadn't really thought about that.
Great questions.
It's like basic questions. I thought, I'm just going to keep on working and making money and put money away, saving. I'm a saver. And so those questions were important. When it gave an opportunity, the college gave me the opportunity to retire. They offer this retirement package, early retirement. And so
Trying to get you out the door, right?
yes.
Yeah.
And so when I was 70 at early retirement, and what was a great opportunity to think about, I can now do something else. But the other time was like, I wasn't really quite prepared. In your podcast, you've had great things about talking about preparing and making plans and hobbies. And I probably was a little voided on that. I hadn't really.
Like, what am I going to do after?
What's my identity after work?
Yeah. And so that was a big thing, because I wasn't going to be doing what I had been doing. And that's fine, just doing new stuff. And so new stuff isn't very clinical, but I was going to do new stuff.
No, get it.
And so that was a process at that moment.
So what was the first year like, or what surprised you most the first year of retirement?
One of the fun things was that, oh my gosh, I got free time.
Did you feel that right away?
Was that a good thing or a bad thing?
It was a good thing. And so how am I going to fill this free time? Because I'm about filling time and doing
Did you
stuff.
feel that right away? Like, I got to fill it? Or were you like, hey, I can binge out, watch some Netflix?
No, I had to fill it.
Yeah.
And so I had a daily list. Back then I was really, really focused on a list
To-do
every day
list.
and a to-do list. And this is what we're doing today and tomorrow. And so I planned, I call them off the farm activities.
Mm-hmm.
And so having coffee with friends,
Oh, that's
connecting with
amazing.
people, doing workouts. I always planned something each day, not to just idle time, but just significant things to do.
So let's fast forward. So you've retired, you're in that transition phase, you're keeping your list full. What is like a normal day for you, and how do you live it to the fullest in retirement? And what are some new things you are trying? Because to me, I think the hardest people and not making money, you know what I mean, that nerve, like there's so many different identities happening at once in retirement.
Yeah. And so my day is structured early morning, going to working out, going to the gym, having daily activities to do, appointments, committees I'm working on, farm activities. There's always things to do. And hopefully by 6 o'clock, I'm done at night. And
So you really are still the entrepreneur of your life.
Yes.
You're just not working for someone.
CEO of my own time.
I love that.
Yeah.
What do you notice when you look at peers and other friends your age in retirement? Do you feel like the outsider? Do you feel like a lot of people have it figured out? Because me and Cole working out is, like we talk about it, I think a very important thing as anyone and as you age in retirement. But do you feel different?
So what I see is that, and we've had this discussion, is that people decide to retire at different times. I was extended, and some people are in that way, but some people can't wait. And so I was like, I enjoyed what I was doing. So I find a lot of my friends, and this is just a casual observation, are less active.
Yep.
And they're just less active, and that fits their lifestyle, their mindset, and their purpose is just to be
Now,
less
we're your
active.
friends, Larry, so
Yeah.
we're pretty active. So
And
We're a little younger.
And so we need to qualify that. And so that's one of the things that I had a fitness coach online, and he said, Larry, you need to spend time with younger people because they have the vibe and the energy. And so that's one of the things that I've connected with people is the people with that vibe, the people that don't just
Hit the Netflix.
most people your age, I will say, is they don't have the energy
our
that you
clientele.
have. Yeah, they do not have the energy you have, and that's where it's like, and that probably is your routine, your fitness schedule, a lot of things that are a compounding effect that allow you to have that, and you've built your ways around that, which is awesome.
I don't want to skip past this either because you said you have a coach, right? And I think most people probably get to retirement and think, I don't need any guidance or support. I'm here. I've made it. I've crossed the finish line. But to me, it's like you didn't cross the finish line. You're just in a new chapter type of thing. So when did you decide in retirement to get a coach, and what does that look like? And has that helped you stay active and optimistic?
It was the big thing. Just think about as we grow, adolescence and your life, how things change all the time. Well, that period of time is like, I'm sitting, it's in the fall time, school had started. I'm not at school. I'm
You're
not working.
retired.
I'm having coffee with my dog outside in the garage. and so I was on Facebook and I came across a fitness coach online, connected with that person. And so that person is the one that has really allowed me to do many of the things I want to do. And so at that time, I worked with him for 2 years. We did Zoom twice a week. He set up daily workouts. He set up nutrition, and I got shredded.
You were, Larry.
I got
you
shredded.
did. Yeah.
And so the other thing that he was a great life coach too, that we developed a blueprint, a life blueprint. And that was a significant thing about projecting activities and lifestyle. What do you want to do? My big thing was wanting to do podcasts. I have no idea what a podcast was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, I kind of like doing them. And
Talking.
Yeah. And so he was the one that taught me all of that fun things to do with the podcast.
How do you think you keep that mentality of like, I'm not too old, I'm going to stay with the times, I can have a coach. Was I a little nervous getting a coach, or how do you keep that mindset of like, I'm still growing, I'm still trying new things? Because
challenging yourself. You're still challenging yourself.
Yeah, I think about podcasting as 70 plus. Like, that would be very intimidating, like technology behind it and all the things.
Yeah. And so I thought it was a great opportunity to learn new things. And so it was challenging. Think about all that technology. And he was very well adapt with that because that's his business is online things. So he was a great one to help me with that, establish that thing. And I thought it was just pretty cool having a coach. I thought, it's like, why don't you have a coach? You should have a coach.
I love that.
It's like, have a coach and have fun things and do fun things.
I love to be optimistic, right? I'm always like, hey, I think I want to see the better in all situations, but let's be realistic. There are times where you might make a decision like, ooh, did I make the right decision, or second guess? Did you ever go through like that lost period? You've been in retirement now for a handful of years, but that period where you're like, hey, did I do the right thing, or should I go back to work, or should I, maybe should I change something? Did you ever go through that where you were like second guessing that? Because I think a lot of people do that. They retire and then they have that, if they don't have some purpose. Now, I think your period was probably very short from knowing you personally, because
most people
you stay very active, but we have a lot of clients first year, they're like, I'm with my spouse too much, or like, hey, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Did you go through anything like that?
So I had some organizations asked me to come to work for them. And so I did an interview.
I'm not surprised by that. So.
And so I had done the interviews, and I came to the point is like, work is optional.
Yep.
And so this would be a time to do something. And it was a great opportunity. I love the opportunity they gave me. The money was good and the activities and all those things. And I just decided to disengage. And so sometimes we're having a little regret. I wish I could do something part-time, but I really like what I'm doing now. It's not something I regret not re-engaging in. I don't have any regrets about that at all.
Do you feel like you have a new mission for your life now that you're in retirement? Like in pre-retirement, your mission was obviously helping people.
Servicing people.
What do you think your mission in retirement has been since then? Or do you feel like you have one?
Oh, I have an excellent purpose. Oh my God. It's like keep busy and just find new things to do all the time, engage in new things, new people, activities, meeting people. And so all those things is living wholesome. What's that? Wholesome life?
Wholesome, fully.
Do you have any new things you're trying to do right now? I know you got some charities and different things. I know you're involved in the college and things there, but any new hobbies or anything? I know you've picked up golf in the last couple of years.
Oh, I love golf.
Yeah. Oh gosh,
golf's
we're a
great.
golf podcast.
I think golf is great.
Oh my God. I can get out there and just practice and just, it's early morning and it's just perfect to be out there. It's just me and it's just so calming. And I feel so privileged at that point. And so golfing was a huge thing I got into. I got into photography. Last spring I took a class at the college called imaging editing.
Did you hear that? Larry's still taking classes at the college.
He's
at
still
Iowa
learning.
still learning, trying to do different things. So I love the engagement.
And then in the fall I've enrolled in 2 classes in photography and Photoshop. So those kind of things.
You took AI classes too, right?
And so I just learned that was part of the imaging editing class.
Okay.
And so my life coach, my fitness coach, was big into AI. He's the one that introduced me into that, and said,
"Was it mind blowing?" Were you like,
"Oh," he said, "You need to get this. You need to get a subscription."
Everyone when they run across someone who's never used AI, you're like, "Oh my gosh, you gotta come watch this!" Like,
Oh my God, it's like, oh my God,
mind blowing.
It's like we did what did we just do?
Yeah. We talk about it a lot.
And so the last July, I was I had a mouse in the house. And so
AI'd how to get it out?
No, I did a thing. I wrote a little short story about of a mouse in the house. And ChatGPT made all the illustrations for me.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
and so now I got this.
You gotta sell it, Larry.
I know. It's a fun little story.
Self-publish it on Amazon and make it live.
Yeah. Mine is a happy story. That the mice in the family are happy and they don't end up.
Sounds like Stuart Little. That's it.
There's a good ending to this one. So.
Well, my question is, Larry, talk to someone right now. Like we talked a little bit about off mic. I think routine and morning routine is really important to you in retirement, but someone who literally can't understand retirement because their identity is their career. They're like, they can't feel the shift. Like, how do I get to the shift where I am trying new things? Because I haven't been, because all I'm doing is working. So like, if you could talk to someone directly thinking about retirement or getting ready to retirement, what would you say? Like, what's the best little advice to do something to do in your day? Is it a routine? Is it connection? Like, what is it?
I found an important thing financially to have a financial advisor. I thought that was the most important thing. I can't imagine to be where I am today without having that advice.
To help you through the emotional changes of it too?
Exactly. It's like, oh, money. What am I going to do with money? I don't have that weekly salary coming in.
It was probably unusual for you though too, because you've always been in a giving where you were the one on the advice end or the sounding board end versus you kind of transitioned to, hey, I'm seeking now some guidance or sounding on the other end. So that's, I'm sure that was a challenging thing.
Well, even the psychology of, I think my worth is earning the money, and now I'm not earning the money. I have purpose, but I'm not, you know what I mean? That's a shift too.
Yeah. And so one of the things I like to talk to people about, and I'm probably kind of nerdy about it, is like, you have collective wisdom that I don't have. You have had experience and you know things. I want to know that stuff. How can that? And so I'm kind of nerdy, and I ask that question often. What? Tell me about. And sometimes it's a little intrusive, I hope, but I need to know stuff, and so I ask so many questions.
Where does that curiosity come from? I'm curious because that's what it is. It's like you're a curious person,
and there's no shame of not knowing.
And that leads to learning, right? I think curiosity, like, oh, I'm interested, or I'm interested in you as a person. What drove you? What ticks you? But where do you think that curiosity comes from? Is just like, I'm curious. Yeah, curious for the curiosity.
Curious. And so,
no pun.
And so I think that's really happened. in my job placements, working at different things, is that I had to know stuff. There's new skills I needed, new routines, new methods, new policies. And I think that was a big thing that I needed to know, so especially at the college. I wasn't an educator. I was a clinician. And so that was a whole new thing. It's like, what is this?
What am I doing here? I need to learn to get better at this.
And then there's all the technology. It's so technology active in those classes, and it's just one of those things. It's like, oh, I need to know this. I need to know this, and I better need to know this because they know this, and now I need to be 2 steps ahead of them, and so.
But not everyone thinks that way, though,
No.
Larry. That's one thing. That's why I asked this, because
Maybe it's not.
There's such a difference of, like, just like Babe was saying, like, I'm retired. I don't need to learn anymore.
Or I don't want to talk about my retirement plan because I got it figured out.
I got it figured out. It's hard. There's probably not a single thing that you can answer to that, but it's just, makes me.
I even try and
wonder.
teach my kids that, like, learning is fun. Like, you don't want to know everything. You want to seek out, new experiences. It's not a failure.
Learning is growth, right?
Yeah.
If you're learning, you're probably growing.
Yes.
Right? You should be, as long as hopefully you're learning the right things.
And using ChatGPT and Siri and Google is such an opportunity. I have a new operator at the farm, and they let me ride in the tractor with them or the combine and whatever. I'm like, they have a little jump seat right here, and I get to sit next to them, and I'm like, what?
That's where I was raised as a kid, was in those little jump seats. I spent a lot of time in the combine and tractor and semi. So
it's so nifty, and they're so kind. I said, oh, you're here. What are you doing? Oh, we're spraying. And they do the ask, would you like to come in the tractor?
Yes.
And I'm going, I'm there in 6 seconds. And so I'm asking about questions about their process, their equipment, and all those kind of things. What kind of seeds? They're doing regenerative farming. And what is that? That's a whole new thing I wasn't aware of. And
you probably asked them plenty of questions, I'm sure.
If you don't know this about Larry, he walks around with a notebook, and wherever he's at, he's taking notes, and it's here. And I love
we
it.
got sitting on the table.
Yeah.
And so I think that's one of the things is that you can do the things you want to know if you have the knowledge, or if you don't have the knowledge or skill, go get that.
It's available, right?
Yeah.
It is available now.
Growth mindset.
And I think that was a big thing that my fitness coach said, and really instilled the growth mindset.
This podcast is produced by Spin Market and Digital. Located in Fort Dodge, Iowa, Spin Market's highly skilled team can help you increase your market by updating your website, improving SEO, designing advertisements, and producing podcasts that will grab the attention of your market. Contact Spin Market today for all your digital marketing needs at digitalagent@spinmarket.com or call us at 515-302-8026. And to learn more, visit our website at www.spinmarket.com. That's digitalagent@spinmarket.com or 515-302-8026. Or visit our website at www.spinmarket.com.
Let's do a little dollars and cents.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Is AI already reducing demand for workers?
Ooh.
So that's the headline. I pulled an article from, this is coming from JP Morgan Asset Management, and that's relevant. I mean, I feel like every conversation,
AI's in it.
AI is like, either getting involved or something
My
along
best
the
friend.
line. And yeah, and I keep hearing that too, of people worried about, like, is AI, what areas is AI going to, reduce or take jobs from, or whatever it might be. And some of this article goes into is how early on we're still in that AI development stage. And there was a census data that showed that less than 10% of US firms are using AI to produce goods and services. So it's still very, very low. In the same article, it talked, IBM specifically said that they've been using AI in their training platform, and it said it's reducing their training time by about 25%, or it's improving their efficiencies of their new onboarding training by about 25%, which is, I think, significant. Think of like savings, long-term savings, and that's the for like those large employers, they're always a huge expenditure is their onboarding costs. So what it costs to onboard or offboard an employee, and The reason that I even gravitated to this article was it was comparing how long a 20-minute task for a normal human, and like the trajectory from. So for those who don't know, really AI has been around since for a long period of time, but ChatGPT specifically, we've talked about that one. That was the first like long language model where you can go and type something in, it'll try to kick back a response that's using web data. That was like 2019, sometime that came out. But I mean, now there's, a crazy amount of them, but it's basically a dot chart of, the tasks it takes for a human, how many that can complete that and how quick. So now it's up to, it used to take, there was basically, for a 1 minute task for human, it took the computer 30 seconds to figure
crazy.
it out. Now it's up to 21 minutes, ChatGPT, something that take me 21 minutes can do like snap of a finger, right? So it can compute data.
I think about how much time it saves me, so I believe it.
Now on the counter to that, it's still about 80% accuracy, right? So that's where the adoption of AI in the business world, you still need to have, how can we get, because obviously humans are making errors, right? I was going to say,
that's probably more than, the 80 is more than a human error probably.
But we're still in that, like, hey, where does the adoption versus, implementation really work, and how, effective is it? I think there's, I think where it creates is more like individual, capacity, right? It makes my capacity higher to do other things so I can get more done efficiently in the day versus like eliminating something that I'm doing. It's more of, I'm just more efficient what I'm doing, but quite interesting. And it's the chart that's on there. It's showing all the different large language models, all the brands and stuff, and how it's just like skyrocketing here the last like 3 to 6 months. They're just kind of going off the charts with how efficient, how quick, they can compute like, tasks. Again, that's like, think of like a math equation or something that where you're working through a spreadsheet and you're deciphering data. It takes me 20 minutes to do, and I can plug it in, and it takes me 10 seconds.
You don't have to call a company and I have to figure something out on their website or like find something on their site. I can literally plug the site in and be like, hey, where can I find that? Instead of calling someone, it's like boom, boom, boom. I'm like, wow, that just sent me 15 minutes instead of calling someone.
It's probably one of the things that, it has business and personal application. I've never experienced, right? You can do it personally.
Listen, I have projects that are all personal, and then I have projects that are all business. It's crazy.
Can I get your opinion on this? I heard this on another podcast that I listened to. I thought it was because we're talking about AI. So right now, if you say you get in legal trouble, right, and you have your ChatGPT on your computer, they can go look at your chat history, right? And that's subject to, like it's because it's saved on your computer, right? So my question is, do you think there's like, should it be, where does that fine line come in of like that you think, hey, that's private data, right? That's private stuff there. I'm curious of how that is, because it's like,
I said
like how to murder, if you're ChatGPT, and how to murder your husband.
I literally said that to my sister. She was watching Dexter. I was like, that gives people weird ideas, and they could AI it nowadays.
But I think that's really coming because Apple, what Apple does, they basically say, hey, we don't house that, like we don't have, the data's not ours. Right. So Apple say, yeah, you can try to get it, but it's basically impossible to get. Like if you pass away and they need, Apple's history data, like how they set up their structure. And again, I don't know
it's just like going through someone's cell phone though.
I just
if you've gotten yourself into a place where they're discovering stuff, I mean.
But okay, how about privacy, right?
I don't know,
like attorney-client privilege, right? You have privilege with like if you're asking ChatGPT legal advice.
That's true.
Which a lot of people do. I have. Right? Or a CPA or, tax advice, and then you get audited or whatever it might be. Is there a privilege there? Like, where does that barrier come at some point of when there's going to be a privilege?
That'll be messy when they have to figure it out.
It's an interesting time. They had quite a conversation on that, and I was like, oh, that is fascinating to think about, because that's like some point there'll probably be this is a business idea, and I'm sure it's out there, but like a attorney or a legal large language model you can pay.
There
and
is
it's like
for AI.
That's your attorney, right? Because they can draft documents, do everything, but like, is there privilege there?
Yeah.
Right? Like what you tell them, like, hey, I'm doing this, and
I'm really guilty, but we can't say that.
Or I'm hiding assets from my spouse that I'm about to divorce.
Yeah.
Like, is this,
seriously. I will say this, and then we'll pivot back to Larry. I think I saw this. I said this at the office. It's like, show your best friend your text, your browsing history, anything, but I will not show my AI because your AI is like your heart and brain. It's like every silly question you need.
Well, even like emotional things. Right?
Yeah, emotionally. Well, and speaking of an AI, it's like you could go in and be like, hey, I want to retire and live my life to the fullest. Here's who I am. How do I get to be like this? And so workout plan, all these things. So anyways.
AI is good. I love it. ChatGPT, I just love it.
Larry, one thing I really want to get back into, because I think this is really important in being able to live a full retirement, right, is to be able to go. And to be able to go is health. And that goes hand in hand, I think. Me and you were talking once that, you have a friend that's in a home and they were fine, but all of a sudden they're in the home and they're around people that are barely walking. And all of a sudden he had a cane. It's like he didn't need a cane. But surrounding yourself and the importance of health. And how did you always work out before retirement, or did retirement free up time for a new health journey, or was it a staple before retirement, or how did you elevate your health and movement in retirement?
So
that was a loaded question.
So there was a lot of questions.
There was a lot. I was thinking, I was like, you got a lot to spit out here. There.
So
better take some notes in that notebook.
I was thinking, it's like, oh, where am I at? And so one of them is. When I worked for the state, it was a high demanding, very stressful job. And so that's why I started running and swimming and biking. And that was my time, that like at noon or at the end of the day or before, whatever. And so that was a big thing for stress release. The other thing that really has grabbed me is being fit. And so my health has gone up and down. My weight has gone up and down. There's huge cycles. And so one of the things I decided in the last number of years is really focus on that. I never was a smoker or drinker or a partier, so that was something I didn't have to change that lifestyle. But a big thing was, how do I want to live? How do I want to? And so being able to do the things I want to do, being able to be strong. So people think, oh, I need to work out so I live forever. Well, no, we work out so we can do the things, especially as we age and whatever. Maybe at any age, I want to be strong enough to play golf or run with my kids or do whatever. And so I want to be able to do those kind of things. And I don't see that many things with my friends, my peer group, age group, let's say. And so that's a huge thing that really has been a focus of mine. And so when I found that fitness coach online, that was a big thing, is toning up, doing better, and getting healthier as well. So being able to do the things, because our genes allow us to do so much, our lifestyles include that, and all those things. There's no guarantee that any one of us is going to live to that moment. It's just a roll of the dice. No one's guaranteed to live to be 100. How did that person live to be 100? Mm-hmm. Well, it just happened.
Right. And I always think that, like, when you're younger, you work out to look a certain way, like, right, I want abs, I want to look. But now I'm like working, I'm like, I want to be able to work out so my kids have kids. I can like pick them up, walk around, so I can go hiking when I'm older. Like, I do think there's a shift, and you're ahead of it, where there was a mindset of, well, you just get older, you get slower, your body hurts, you slow down, where now it's more of a shift. How can I take care of my body? Because age isn't, getting older is a privilege. Getting stronger is a choice, and you have to make those choices. So what is like a normal activity, go-to activity that keeps you moving and healthy at this age?
One of the things is that keeps me going is I go to the doctor's office, and I'm not like the other people in the office.
I love it.
and so I went to the doctor the other day, and the nurse says, "Are you really?" And I said, "Well, that's what the book says."
That's not what my heart is.
And so that's a big thing, is a mindset of keeping young and active. And so one of the things that I've read is that oftentimes people aren't able to do things because they haven't maintained that physicality. They haven't done those things that in our lifestyles now can be easy to be restful and sedentary.
Sit in that recliner.
Yeah.
You know?
And so I don't have a recliner at my house. So.
He doesn't sit.
And so mine is a straight chair in the kitchen,
He's got a stand-up desk. We got to say.
And so that's a big thing, is that my parents did a nifty thing, is that they want to live as long as possible. And so whatever that means, and in a good way, a quality.
And live fully, right? You're like fully living as long as you can.
And so that's an important thing, is I see other people, and they're active and doing cruises and whatever. that's kind of fun. But how active is their other day? How active is their other week? And
versus like plateau peak
Yeah.
versus the consistency of.
So being able to play golf, and I went to a therapist, a physical therapist, about how to improve my golf swing, and so that was one of those things I learned, how you can be better and stronger at the activities I want to do.
I love that because go ahead.
Can I ask, because I was kind of, this is kind of to both of you, do you think, your health fitness, is it more of a, hey, I want to be able to be active for a longer period of time, or more of a mentally, like what weighting, where would you weight that of like, hey, it's more, because I've transitioned where, yes, when I was younger, it was definitely more like, ooh, I want to have big biceps, or I'm a football player, so I need to be big, and that was what it was. Now it's more like, I'm more, so I'm a better person mentally. Mm-hmm. I'm a better husband. I'm a better father. I'm a better colleague.
He doesn't snap on everyone.
Yeah.
He's never
I'm just,
done
so
that.
for me, the weighting has gone way more.
Yes.
Like, yes, I want, everyone wants to
You
look
feel
good,
better.
but I'm just curious of where you find, is it more of like, hey, it's more, because we're in different stages, right? So like, to me, it's definitely more emotional, but at some point it might be where, hey, I need to work out. I'm good mentally. I've kind of got it locked in here, but I might not be able to pick up my grandkids. Like that's, where do you think?
Probably something you don't know. I used to weigh about 50 pounds more. I did not know that. I used to weigh about 230 pounds.
I don't believe it until I see a photo, Larry. Link it in the pod.
Different size clothes then, huh?
I've got those clothes in the closet, and I probably should.
No, you get rid of them, you know.
And so, I'm a saver. So, not that we don't need to save the big boy clothes, but and so that was part.
You never know.
Seriously. So that was a thing I wanted to, and I kind of worked with a local trainer for a couple times and eating better. But then there's a whole different shift. I had less stress going on, and I really made a priority of getting to the gym. Mm-hmm. And so when I retired, that was a huge priority, is like the physicality, because I knew that being physical helps you mentally, cognitively, and just that whole outlook. And I needed that. I wanted to make sure I was grabbing all those neurons and neurotransmitters.
Get that dopamine.
Get my dopamine.
In a good way.
And so that was a big thing. And so getting in there, it's part of it's social too, but achieving stuff.
I guess that's an underrated piece of it. Is like your social, aspect of the gym. You probably see some of the same people, a little more common-minded, right?
Yeah. And that's nice. And there's a couple people a little bit older, and it's kind of nifty what they're doing. They're working on their health and what meeting their goals. It's kind of nifty is that we all have our personal goals. And
you're all working towards them.
Yeah, and so we can be friends and kind of intermingle. And so I have the younger group and the middle group, and I don't hang around the college kids because they're college kids, but
I would. I'd be the old lady. What's up, guys? I will be.
And so, but it's always fun to go there and think, I'm doing this today. And maybe I'm doing one more rep, or maybe I'm doing okay or whatever. But also the thing is not doing body beautiful. And so that's so important, is not working on body beautiful, because I did the shred. And now it's body health. It's body healthy. It's like, okay, my bones are this age, my tendons are this age, and we need to be respectful of that. And sometimes the brain is thinking, oh, we're going to lift a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm always doing that.
Yep.
So what I hear you saying is, yes, it's physical, because I want to be able to do the things, golf, do the things. I can't believe you don't play do you pickleball? Anyways, we'll get back to
today's actual National Pickleball
That's
Day.
what and I think pickleball is going to be my...
And maybe we should go do that.
I love pickleball. It's fun. I've played a lot, but...
This afternoon.
But
get a sweat on.
It is also an identity in retirement, and it's an emotional and social thing for you, just as important. So it sounds equally important. To me, it's like, I can't get through if I don't work out, I'm a completely different human throughout the day. So I got to do it. Yes, there's a physical to it, but it's more emotional for me than anything. But sounds like to you, it's a little bit of both.
And so mine is some social time, keeping connected, seeing some friends, making sure I'm connected with other people, having that balance so I'm not on some tangent, thinking about something in the cosmos or something, but keeping a little, but also just enjoying the workout and the physicality of it. I think that's just a nifty thing. And then
it's a good stressor.
You gotta like. I know you told me you're going to your class reunion coming up soon. You gotta like that of like they're like, "Geez, Larry, what are you doing?" Like when they're
you get around
people walking in and they're
fit.
like, "You're like, geez, Larry, did you just do curls where you came in?"
They're on their.
You gotta like that, right?
No,
He's flexing on the camera.
I love it. I love it.
I would.
Got to adjust my mic.
And so that's a big thing is that when our planning committee for the class reunion, our group of 8, it was kind of nifty. They're all engaged in activities. And then you think about when we get together in a week or so, what's the other people going to look like? Mm-hmm. Because we were thinking in our committee, it's like, how did we get this old?
If it flies by.
You know, we're at this age, and
this age.
And
I just had my 15 years, so I was like,
yeah. And so 40 years later, who had thought that we'd be having class reunions at 55-year class reunion?
That's awesome.
That's awesome that your class still is. I assume don't go
Small
that far,
town,
right? They
right?
kind of dwindle off, and eventually there's not a leader there to kind of keep it going. So really cool that you still have that community of classmates that are willing to get together.
And they're so into memories and stuff. And talks like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that stuff. But the more important is like, what are we doing today?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's really nifty.
You should plug the podcast when you're there. So you can be like, hey, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Look, I'm on this podcast.
See how many of your peers are listening to podcasts.
Or on a
They
podcast.
better be listening.
I think there's a lot. I think way more than what we think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I used to think that stereotype that was like it was a young person's, but no, I think like all age groups.
Well, you think about like Facebook. It's not a young.
Facebook. I know.
I do want to shift because this is like a personal thing for me. I just believe in living intentionally. I think how you do anything is how you do everything type of thing. And this is a money podcast. So obviously we've talked about trying new things, having identity, the health aspect. But I do think there is a mindset shift financially. And obviously we're going to talk about that for listeners. Talk about how it's changed, like how you feel about money versus working versus now. And do you feel more free or do you feel more cautious? Or what is it like on the finance? Because you're getting to do these things because obviously you're intentional financially. So talk about that.
So one of the things, I'm a saver. I've always been a saver. And so I've worked with...
hence the clothes in the closet.
Exactly.
I always call those hoarders.
Well, maybe I'm a little bit of that too. A clinician might say that. But anyway. And so saving's been important and not spending. And so we had talked about having a budget. And
My favorite word.
Bailey loves the word budget.
And so that's one of the big things is like, what money do I need to spend? Mm-hmm. What do I need to spend? Otherwise, I don't spend. That's a huge thing. Back in the day when I was working, of course, we had more disposable income. And that's a whole different mindset. Well, if I want to do this, well, I've got this money coming in. And so, but now we've got a great financial plan. My financial advisor and I have had this great financial plan. And one of the things that I heard early on is that you're okay. You're going to be okay.
Some people need to hear that. They do.
Absolutely.
Like,
And I think I say this all the time, transitioning from saving to spending and enjoying is, I think, a very hard shift for many people.
Accumulation versus,
it's the people who save. They're like, I got to hold on to it. I wanted to, you know what I mean? You just did it. Like there is some, because you're not used to spending on yourself.
And so I've developed these income streams that help me with my yearly life. And so we have a budget with that. And so this last month, I've had some expenses that weren't in the budget.
Unexpected.
And so...
How's that make you feel? Like, when you have those like those bigger expenditures, does it tick you off, or you're like, hey, that's part of the process?
I haven't got to this part of the process yet.
It's a new phase.
It's tough.
It's part of the thing. It's like, okay, that isn't in the budget. And I'm thinking, and what percentage of that is of my total portfolio, and which is kind of nifty when I think about it in that kind of thing. Well, I'm okay, but I'm all that saver. It's like, at the end of the year, I should have this much money left over from my budget that I had. Mm-hmm. And so not having to...
You're prepared, you're planned.
Yes. And I do regular budget realignments.
Oh.
I go back. It's someplace in one of your podcasts.
This is my favorite tip of... Did you hear that?
Tip of the day.
Go again, Larry. You what?
Budget realignments.
Yes.
And so going through
That sounds like a governmental term. So.
Oh, don't bring us down. We're high energy right now.
I'm just kidding.
Energy.
I'm just joking.
And so one of the things is that making sure that I'm spending things I need to spend on, and making sure there isn't something creeped in there, something I'm not using now, or do I really need that? And so
How often do you go through something like that?
every 2 months.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And so
And don't you think that clarity makes you feel better too?
recently our healthcare has gone up. July 1st, some of my healthcare bills went up. It's like, oh, July 1st, what do you mean? And so I went on and how am I going to cut this many dollars a month? And so I looked at my LP service for gas and found a new provider. And so that was a good way I could do it. And
Look at this retirement tip. You guys are good.
Bailey is just like glowing right now over this.
and so budget realignment
Intentionality.
and intentionality.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
And so that's a important part is, and that's just one example. And there's a couple others. It's like, oh, do I really? So now that I have that nutritional thing going on, I rarely eat out. And so how many dollars is that?
Yeah.
That's a huge savings. I'm not running to get
Stella's. Our heart has to Stella's.
I'm sorry. I have these things that keep popping in my brain that I've seen recently that like just apply to this conversation. But the not eating out and mindset. We talked a lot about mindset. I was listening to another podcast where someone. Do you guys know who Mike Rowe is? Mm-hmm. He used to host Dirty Jobs on Discovery Channel. This individual was on his podcast and he's like, I didn't know. I thought we were upper middle class growing up, but we weren't. We were poor. But my parents always said, isn't that a shame? Isn't that a shame they have to eat out and they don't know how to cook? Isn't that a shame they have to go on vacation and we live on the farm and we get to do that every day? Isn't that a shame?
Wow.
That was their term. It was all mindset. It was like, no, we get to do this. And it's like, hey.
We're living. I always try to express that to my kids. I'm like,
I loved that it was like a reel or something. I was like, I think that is so relevant to like the world we live in. And like, isn't that a shame, right? It's all like the situation you're in.
Yeah. So I think that's one important is always figuring out a kind of a view of our finances. It's like, what do I need to spend? What do I don't need to spend?
And you're not negative about it either. It's like, oh, maybe these 2 months I'm going to slow down this. It's just adjusting.
So
do you find you're adjusting? Is it more of like, hey, I probably don't need to make a change every 2 months? Or are you finding stuff on a regular basis? We're like, oh yeah, that is getting a little out of hand.
It's just a task. It's just a task. It's like, hey, I need to do this because someone in a podcast once said this, and I really grasped onto it.
Bailey.
Oh, is it?
And I had two vehicles. Why do I need two vehicles? I love having two vehicles. I love it. It's like, do I need two vehicles? So I downsized.
Did I say that? Are you not talking about me, are you? Did I say that on a podcast?
I don't know. It's okay.
Yeah.
And downsizing. It's all right. It's all everyone goes through that.
Realignment.
We talk about too. It's like
realignment,
value spending too. Like what, and it's just knowing yourself is like spending with your values. Does this align with who I want to be, how I'm living? Am I really spending that way? And then it takes kind of the guilt out of it. Like, yeah, I do want to spend $5 on a coffee because I value the free morning or whatever it may be. That's just an example, but yeah.
So I think it's okay to spend money on ChatGPT and those kind of AI
that's what
things
I'm saying.
And activities for my podcast. Well, do I really need to run and get a nice meal?
Yeah,
when you can cook at home.
Yeah.
And when I've got a nice grill. I like what I cook.
I need to get Blackstone though, so I keep.
Yeah, me too. Chelsea keeps trying to get me to get a Blackstone.
Gosh, we're on alignment of purchases, me and Chelsea. So what I really want to just kind of recap this all. You feel really good in retirement, correct? You feel very healthy. You are not limiting your life, but I think a lot of that is the testament of you yourself by surrounding yourself with a coach, a financial advisor, connection. All these things aren't happening because you're doing it by yourself, because you have created an environment where you have the support and team and mentor, and that's why you're still living fully, is because you just didn't, hey, I made it to the finish line. I'm on my own. I don't need anyone. It's like, no, I actually need more people and I need more purpose for myself, because now the purpose is me and not my job.
I think purpose is a big thing, feeling significant and relevant. Mm-hmm. And so that was a thing that probably was kind of popping at that point. It's like, am I relevant? Am I significant?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm significant because I have a purpose. I'm significant in my own head. And so that was a big thing. Did
I tell myself every morning?
I'm in the mirror.
I'm important.
And so, but one of those things is meaning that significance that I'm going to live a good life. I'm going to do well. And just because they did it this way or they did it this way, I'm going to do it my way.
And yeah, you're in tune with yourself in retirement.
And so I really enjoy being able to, that freedom of financials that we've worked on has really did that. The health is another thing. Keeping a tribe of good people with the right vibe. I think it's real important. I don't hang around people with negative and low energy people.
That's a big thing.
And so, and that's kind of difficult sometimes because I'm a little exuberant sometimes, and I'm sure that's not.
I always tell I just embrace my too muchness. I'm a lot and big energy, but if you don't like my big energy, you're probably not for me anyways.
Yeah. And so I really enjoy every day. It's like every day. I look forward to coming to this.
Yeah.
Well, this has been great, but
Yeah.
I do want to talk
He's
a little
got
bit.
something.
Yeah, a little bit about you're giving back. I feel like you've given your whole life of being in the public world,
bless.
but you're still doing stuff, still involved in the college. I know you have something you're working on that's been kind of near and dear to you. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh my gosh, I'm involved in a couple boards, but the one that's really kind of fun right now, it's kind of a big thing, is I'm a chair of a committee at the college. It's called 100 Tritons Who Care. And we're going to be collecting, it's just kicking off now. And we're going to collect money for several opportunities at the college for the college experience. And that was a kind of a thing. I started a scholarship in human services last winter because we needed more scholarships and for people going to social work. So some of my required distribution money
Dropping an RMD word.
Yep.
is part of that. But think about the opportunities that we have at giving back. And so $100 is a wonderful gift. But if we combine it as a larger group, we can have a larger contribution. Any contribution is significant.
What's the name of the campaign again?
100 Tritons Who Care.
Okay.
I love that.
And so we're sending out some letters to people, a potential group of people.
You're not limiting it to 100 individuals, though, right? As many as you
Or
can get.
$100.
Yeah, there's no limitations.
Did you hear that, Cole?
Yeah.
The mindset, go for it.
Yep, go big.
And so then we'll have, it's kind of fashioned after the 100 women thing. And we use that as a foundation. We met with the people here, and it's not a franchise type of thing. So we made sure that we were all.
Is the money earmarked, or the money that's raised earmarked for a specific cause, or is it a new scholarship, or what is it?
So we've got it down to 3. Dr. Ulrich has got it down to 3. And so the group will decide on the 30th of September which one of the 3 that they want theirs to go to. It would be scholarships, because we really need more scholarships at the college, because that's a definite need. A second one is that they're redoing the dental hygienist program.
Which is very popular too at Iowa Central.
And it's great. Those people stay in the community. They have great skills. That we really need that. And the equipment is old. It's 20 years old.
Wow.
And it needs to be updated. And the third one is the new veterinarian tech program.
Oh, I love that.
And so that's a new thing as well. And
is there a vet tech program now, or is it? There is.
up
Okay.
and coming.
It's just emerging. There's a new clinic building over by the dorms on the south side there.
Okay.
So if you have a program, you have to have a clinic. So that's the whole process. But setting up all those things that are needed to run a clinic.
Yeah.
That's
Awesome.
expensive.
So we're adding acts of service to this retirement, which on our podcast, 5 Things You Don't Know About Retirement, that was a huge thing when people really find their groove. If you go back and listen to that one, service work is huge in retirement and purpose.
And so that was one that I wanted, something that was unique, something that I don't have to run every day and do something with. And so this was an important thing that Mary Ludwig and I had worked with. And it was her thing. She kind of grabbed me and said, would you like to? I said, why not? And so,
Was it a
love the why
question, or was
not?
it a demand out of her? It was probably just like, "Hey, you're going to lead this for me."
yeah, let's go to have lunch today.
I love that. And why not live life to the fullest retirement? So I got 3 rapid fire questions I didn't prep you for. You ready?
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah, not for me.
They guess
Larry.
about
They
that.
hear me talk enough. So
Cole's a talker.
yeah.
Favorite workout in retirement?
Favorite workout? Oh,
Can only pick one.
favorite workout. It's at the gym.
It's wherever you want it to be.
Yeah, it's followed by a Peloton. And so it's getting a pump on.
Yeah.
And
Lift.
then and checking out my heart rate. Where's my heart rate? Oh, God, it's a little high. And then going for a ride.
Oh, I love
Awesome.
it. Okay, favorite thing you've purchased or the most meaningful thing you've purchased in retirement that's impacted your life?
Ooh, good question.
Ooh, that's a big thing. God, I've had some fun things I purchased. Fun things. I'm a car person, so I always have to be careful about cars. And so I've purchased some fun cars.
Oh, I love it.
And since I've retired. And so I have an intervention plan.
Hey, you would deserve it.
I have an intervention plan.
Oh, that's great.
And so I wouldn't have bought the last one, but there was a need to replace the other one. And so anyway, intervention plan.
Cars. Okay.
Love it.
Favorite part of your morning routine? We won't go into it, but you have a whole morning routine. It's a staple of your life. Favorite part of it?
Waking up and just like, I'm ready.
Ready to conquer the day.
I'm ready to go. I'm making the coffee, and I sit down and I'm reading. And I'm sitting in my living room. It faces east. Big country picture window.
I love it. Okay.
And you see the sun.
The best piece of advice you give someone who is not retired yet, but is headed down that path. Best advice for them.
Best advice in one sentence.
Yep. Keep it simple.
One sentence. So, best advice: make a plan to live life wholesomely and healthily.
Let's end it
That's
on that.
awesome.
So good. Thank you, Larry, so much.
Thank you
for
so
your
much,
time.
Larry.
This episode is definitely going to inspire someone, so I appreciate it.
It's been fun. I appreciate talking with my peeps about this and sharing my information.
You're the best, Larry.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it all. Thank you for the opportunity.
If you know someone who's going to retire, is retired and unsure, or just, this is not, again, we talk about this, financial life is more than numbers, right? We want you to be able to be like Larry. So share this episode, like it, subscribe, it helps. But who doesn't want to hear Larry talk? Because he's inspired me, so I love it. Jackie Kersey, age is no barrier. It's a limitation you put on your mind.
Go Cubs.
You've been listening to How to Money with Cole & Cole, the podcast of Full Swing Financial Planning. To learn more, visit their website at www.fullswingfinancial.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
For now, I'm Cole,
I'm Bailey.
And I'm Cole.
and we'll see you on the greens. 4!
Security and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC.